What's up, everyone? It is me, Armchair Commentary, back again with another fantasy football video. Today we're talking tight ends. Nobody loves a good tight end. I always feel so wide in this camera shot. Tight ends are a very important part of your fantasy football team because there are only like 6 that are worth anything. And I mean that respectfully. The middle to low end of the tight end spectrum is weak. It is not. There's not a large gap there. It's not very big, which means that if you get the good ones, you set yourself up real nice. Without further ado, let's take a look at my top 5 tight ends for fantasy football PPR scoring this coming season. Of course, leading things off, we have number 5, TJ Hawkinson. I think, and this is why this is my show and I get to think these things, I think that Hawk will have a great season. I think he will have a great season. And I can already see people losing their mind reading my rankings. Okay. Hawk is going to be a dog. Him and Mark Andrews were my kind of toss-up for 5. And looking at Minnesota with a rookie quarterback starting, favorite target for a rookie quarterback is, of course, a big tight end who can catch passes. I think TJ Hawkinson's going to have a bit of a breakout, resurgent season. Love what he's done, and I think that he's got an opportunity to have a big year. My number 4 is Sam Laporta. Laporta had a breakout year 2 years ago and then fell off. Everybody sold, and then he came back. I think that given the quarterback situation in Detroit, I think that we're going to see more check down. I think we're going to see more of the Laporta getting back involved with the offense. You still have Amon-Ra. You still have your Sonic and Knuckles. I think that the importance of Laporta will be reinstated into the offense. And as your quarterback gets older, a little less zip on the ball, so we'll check it down to Laporta and he'll get some yards. So he is my number 4. My number 3 was last year's number 1, Trey McBride. Well, he was sort of the number 1. He was tight end 3 last year, tight end 3 again this year. I think McBride is going to have a great year. I think he has opportunity to be a phenomenal asset for that Cardinals team. They're going to keep getting better. Hopefully Kyler can get better. Marvin Harrison Jr. gets better, but he is one of like 3 weapons they have on that team, so he will undoubtedly get usage. He is like the secondary receiving target to Marvin Harrison Jr. Like that's it. That's the end of the list. Number 2, we have breakout candidate George Kittle. Can't believe all that time on the running back video. Who's the weapon? Who's the weapon? It's George Kittle. George Kittle's the weapon. He is the one who knocks, and the offense will go as McCaffrey and Kittle go. Kittle will have a big year, though. No doubt he'll have a big year. And then my number 1 is Brock Bowers. Old Brocky. Brock is, he's currently scheduled for tight end 1. His projections have him fairly high. We can get into those in a little bit. I like Brock because the Raiders need stability. Geno likes himself a good catching tight end. Brock works more like a slot receiver most of the time. I think that it'll work out in his favor. I think you'll see him get involved in the passing game quite a bit. Let's go through some projections here and see what we can figure out from our tight end statistics. We'll start right here at the top. Brock Bowers projected for 150 points, fantasy points. That's 1,100 yards. They only have him projected for 6 touchdowns. Of course, using Fantasy Pros, big recommendation. Love the guys. They do great work. I think Bowers can get a little more. I think you're probably looking at 1,200 yards and probably closer to 8 to 10 touchdowns. He may get 10 touchdowns. But still, very good overall production from a tight end. And Kittle, similarly, 148 fantasy points, 76 catches for 100 or 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns. if you look at that offense, again, I cannot overstate this enough. He is the weapon. He's the guy. He's the guy you got to worry about. I appreciate Kittle. I think he's been a standout player for a long time. Tight ends are. I didn't do fades for tight ends because there's not a tight end worthy of fading. It's one of those things where I look at. I don't know. I don't know how you. I don't know how you look at this and you go, Kittle's not going to be the guy. And again, on fading tight ends, who are we fading? Dallas Goedert at tight end 12. We fading Kyle Pitts because he breaks everybody's heart every year. That's the running joke, is that Kyle Pitts is the fade because he never does anything. Even Cole Kmet. I mean, Cole Kmet is fine at tight end. The only time you want to worry about tight end is if you're getting one of the top tight ends. And if you're not getting one of the top tight ends, and here's a little strategy talk, a little free strategy talk for you. When drafting, if you can get a top 6 tight ends, so that's Bowers, Kittle, McBride, Laporta, Hawk, Andrews. You can throw Kelsey and Tucker Kraft in there, but they've both had kind of fall off from their best. So we will leave them on the outside. So if you're not getting a top 6 tight end, you can wait. You can wait. Don't rush to pick Evan Ingram. Don't rush to pick Dalton Kincaid. You don't have to. You don't have to. Dalton Kincaid currently tight end 13, just as a for instance. Let's give you a good for instance here. 84 fantasy points. Okay, and now we're going to look at Chig Okonkwo. 70 fantasy points, tight end 23. It's just not a big enough difference. It's not a big enough difference to really warrant spending the draft capital on. So don't. I guess is the point. Don't. You look at the tight ends and they're so weak. They're so weak. Everybody is big on McBride as well, and like you kind of have to be. So I don't think McBride is going to be the tight end. I think he's going to be a great tight end. He's projected to get 1,000 yards and 6 touchdowns, and I think that's good. I think that's good. But like all of these top tight ends are projected to get around 1,000 yards and around 6 touchdowns. Sam Laporta, 764 yards, 7 touchdowns, but he has more receptions, 68 receptions projected. Hawkinson, again, another big guy, 800 yards, 76 receptions, 5 touchdowns. What are you thinking there, right? It's tough to look at. It's tough to look at and go. Question from the chat was, how do I rate the tight end rookies? I mean, frankly, I don't. I don't like, and I don't mean that disrespectfully. I don't mean that in a way like that. Like Tyler Warren, obviously was he's your rookie tight end master, like number 1 guy. Fantasy Pros has him at 58 catches, 650 yards, 4 touchdowns. And they have him at tight end 11. They have him ahead of Goddard and ahead of Kincaid and ahead of Pitts. Colson Loveland also 15. I like Loveland. I think Loveland may get a little more love. It depends on the relationship he gets with Caleb Williams. Everybody forgot about Caleb Williams. You guys remember when that was a thing? Now we're all on the Shedeur Sanders train, but we can't worry about that. We got to worry about Caleb Williams still. He's an absolute menace. I don't see a huge different, like even look. So Strange is ranking is 74 fantasy points this year, and that's crazy to me. 21. That's 20. That's tight end 21. Taysom Hill, tight end 30, 35. Like Noah Fant is there. Darren Waller is back. Remember Darren Waller? I don't think he has anything here. Um, I think that you've got to look at the rookies and go, rookie tight ends are so incredibly hard to predict for two main reasons. One, um, rookies in general have a harder time adapting to NFL pace. Now, there have been two exceptions that have happened back to back, but usually it doesn't happen like this. Tight end takes a longer time to develop the skill than it does any other position: quarterback, running back, wide receiver, guards, tackles, DBs, safeties, corners. All those guys develop faster than tight ends. Tight ends take the most amount of time because you have to develop your block skill, you have to develop your defense read. You don't just run the route, and on top of all that, you have to learn how to catch properly. You're blocking, you're hitting, your block, you hit, you block, you hit, you catch, you block, you hit. It's a long list. Warren isn't a Colts Bowers. No, they don't have a quarterback for it. They don't have the quarterback for it. If Richardson could ever stay healthy, if he'd ever stay healthy, maybe. Um, and I like Warren a lot. He's tight end 11. He's not like he's a slouch. He's the best rookie tight end there is. He is right around Evan Ingram. Evan Ingram's fantasy prediction this year is tight end 8, 614 yards and 4 touchdowns. Like that's where you're going to see him. That's where you're going to see Tyler Warren. He'll be around 600 yards. You probably get 4 or 5 catches for touchdown, and he'll be in the 40 to 60 catch range, somewhere in that mix, probably closer to 50 something, but that's where he's going to end up. And Bowers was a little bit different because he kept breaking the mold. I think Tyler Warren is really NFL ready, but I don't know what they're going to use him as. Are they going to use him to spring Taylor? Because that would be what I would do. I would use him as a blocker, and then as an outlet to free up more Jonathan Taylor space, because Jonathan Taylor is how your offense is going to run. If I'm the Colts, that's how I want to run the offense. Jonathan Taylor. It's Jonathan Taylor and then whoever else. Like honestly, I think that there's an opportunity for Tyler Warren to be a phenomenal tight end in the NFL. I just don't know if it's going to be this season. Like there's a lot of opportunity for Tyler Warren to develop that skill, but you're probably looking at year 3. It might be year 2, but it might be year 3. You need a quarterback. The Colts need a quarterback, a reliable, every day, every down quarterback who's not going to forget how to play football. Anthony Richardson has all the gifts in the world. The one downside is he forgets how to play regular football, and that's tough. Like that's a tough look. He really needs to do it. So playing in a progressive league, 16 team, flex QB, flex. Okay. You're picking 10? I was talking about this a little earlier today. The overall draft rankings. So we're first of all, I want to say thank you to everybody who's watched this tight end video. You catch the next one later in the week. I'll do QBs and we got to do wide receivers. But question time is here, and that's important. 10 has you in an uncomfortable position, where the top 3 running backs are probably gone. Bijan's probably gone 2 or 3. Barkley's probably gone right after. Gibbs is probably gone. You could go Henry if he's still around. If you can't get Henry's typically going around 7. That's around his draft spot. So it would be a fall if Henry was still there. I'm fading on guys like Puka Nacua, and they'll flame me for this, but I don't believe in them at all. BTJ, Malik Neighbors, Amon-Ra St. Brown, all phenomenal. Those are all phenomenal plays, all in the 10. Um, or you can be the tight end guy. But 10's early for the tight end guy. Bowers is 20. Like Bowers' typical draft range is around 20. So if it's snake and you're drafting, I would say you go one of those guys I mentioned first, like your BTJ, or Malik Neighbors, if you believe in Geno Smith and Russ and like whatever the Giants are doing, but Neighbors will still eat. He'll still have his. And if you're not going one of those guys, I would go Brian Thomas Jr. and then on the return, so it comes back, I would go Bowers and grab your tight end and get tight end off the board and start the run. The other thing about picking tight end early, so if you do reach for Bowers at 10, you can screw up some other people's strategies, and you will see people panic pick, which is my number one piece of advice ever: is stick to your plan, ignore what other people are drafting, and you just go by your plan. Have a plan and stick to it. And honestly, you'll pick a tight end, and you will see someone else pick a tight end, and then Kittle will be off the board, and then Hawk will be off the board, and then McBride will be gone, and you'll be looking at it, and they'll be like guys scrambling to get Cole Kmet. And then you can grab Warren. You can get Bowers and Warren together, because Warren will be available in like round 5 or 6, realistically. That would be my strategy. I would avoid running back. I'd go no running back until late. You can get Achane later. You can get any number. You can get some of those guys that I mentioned we need to talk about. You can get those guys later. Like if you go late running back, you can get Chuba Hubbard. Alvin Kamara is running back 19. David Montgomery's running back 20. Like all of those guys are fine to pick up late rounds. You get a ton of value there. And that's exactly it. You got to love when the draft goes like a little sideways. That's going to do it. That's it. I promised a fantasy football video. We're gonna release 2. Plus this live. This live will stay up. So anybody that wants to come back and roast me later can. Welch, I appreciate you jumping in. That's going to do it for me. We see you tomorrow here, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Great North Sports, Dubs, and myself. Won't be talking fantasy football, but we'll be having some fun, talking about all the things Major League Baseball, football, probably not hockey, but, we talk about it. It's baseball season. We're in the middle of pennant race between the two of us. And yeah.